Hello. Welcome to Neurodivergent Adventures. My name is Amanda Maguire, and this workshop is about how co-working spaces empower autistic and neurodivergent individuals. Before I move on with the workshop though, I just wanted to let you know that all workshop topics are requested from our Neurokin community who share suggestions in what they would like to learn. So all workshop topics are neurodivergent led. If you would like to see the range of recorded topics, please visit the Neurodiverse Adventures website. Click on the workshop and courses at the top, and then click on purchased past recorded workshops, where you'll find a range of different topics. The Neurokin community who subscribe to Neurodiverse Adventures receive weekly online interactive workshops, co-working sessions, and monthly wellbeing sessions. So if you would like to be part of our lovely neuro-affirming community, please sign up and receive these services. Workshops are recorded after the sessions, as we like to keep the workshops interactive. So asking questions throughout, and to keep it as private and confidential as possible. So one individual from the Neurokin community wanted to know more about how co-working works and how it helps them. So let's delve right in. What is co-working? So co-working is a shared, flexible work environment used by individuals or small teams. People work independently but alongside others. These spaces can be created online or in the same room. They are community centres, collaboration hubs and social spaces where people from different backgrounds can come together to share expertise and explore new ideas. So other names of co-working can be collaborative workspaces, shared studios, third places, flex desks, community work hubs, body doubling, buddying. So you might hear these names, but it's all based on a co-working. So the origins of co-working. So this is Brad Newberg, a software engineer, coined the term co-working in 2005 in San Francisco. You'll find throughout my workshops that I find it hard to pronounce words, and that's my dyslexia. So bear with me. It's not going to stop me, that's for sure. So it merges freedom and structure, inspired by tech and open source culture. It was created for freelancers, remote workers, and creatives who want independence without isolation. So let's look a bit more about the history of co-working. So pre-2005, informal shared spaces in artist collectives, libraries and hacker spaces used co-working. If you can even imagine going into a library, I'm sure that you've experienced that before, where there's lots of people in the same space working on different things perhaps. In 2005, first official co-working spaces opened by Newberg. 2006 to 2010, rise of dedicated co-working spaces in major cities. In 2010s, the global expansion WeWork, Impact Hub, etc. By 2012, there were over 2,000 spaces worldwide, cementing its power and global trend. And in 2020s, the emergence of neuro-inclusive and identity-affirming co-working hubs. Most co-working spaces for our community are online through many different platforms. So if you remember what happened in 2020, Do I need to remind you? There was lots of people in their homes, isolated. And so obviously people that were working from home discovered that co-working actually really helped. So let's look at the science behind co-working. So social facilitation theory states that we perform better with others around us, even silently. For example, working in a cafe or library can help sustain attention. It can boost dopamine through purposeful routine and task momentum. So example of that is going to the same space each day can help build a rewarding routine. Mirror neurons are co-regulated by share, focus, energy. So for example, on that one is seeing others working calmly helps us mirror that energy. Low pressure accountability, so that equals motivation without micromanagement. Co-working is not about micromanagement. So an example is, I see others focusing, so I'll keep going too. So predictable shared rhythms can reduce executive dysfunction. An example of that is co-working sessions can support executive functioning by anchoring time and transitions. A co-working session can signal a start time for work more clearly when at home. So we know that there's also barriers in traditional workspaces. So workplaces can not be neuro-friendly. There can be sensory overwhelm from noise and lights and crowding, lack of autonomy over the environment or schedule, masking demands and performance pressure, executive functioning struggles, so that initiation, planning, staying on task. And then there's the lack of psychological safety or inclusion. So these are usually the barriers that we face in maybe offices, in busy environments where we're working. And that can be a real barrier for us doing the job. So why co-working empowers us? So we can have choice and control over seating, breaks and sensory input. We can have a community structure without social pressure, so being alone together. Reduced decision fatigue, so again that's that built-in routine. Helps time blindness, gentle structure. So my brain loves to really hyper-focus. I have a monotropic brain, and it means that I really delve deep into things, and time, there is no structure sometimes when I go down the rabbit hole, as they say. So actually having co-working spaces can give me that time where I'm trying to do that specific job or anything that maybe I might be putting off. It helps me in that time to get that done. And it also affirms identity. So it's like no need to mask. When you're with a group of people that is neuroaffirming, then there is that connection. Easier transitions into work mode with others around. Reduces shame and inertia. Builds momentum through shared presence. And normalises natural rhythms of focus and rest as well. So neurodiverse co-working groups. So in the Neurokin community, we have weekly co-working sessions. Many autistic and neurodivergent individuals thrive in a structured environment where they can work alongside others. Our weekly co-working sessions offer supportive space where you can focus on your tasks in collaborative online setting. These sessions encourage productivity, foster a sense of community and provide an opportunity to connect with others who share similar experiences. So that means that we feel safe together and we're being inclusive and understanding each other and having these affirming spaces. Routine meets that flexibility as well. So you don't have to attend, even if you subscribe to the Neurokin community. It's there if you want it. Task-focused time for task and optional check-ins as well. So what I mean by that is, say we have a co-working group for an hour and a half. At the beginning of the co-working session, we may share what we want to do within that time. And that then allows that accountability. Some people might not want to share what they want to do, they're just there. And we might set a time of maybe for 45 minutes and then have a quick check-in to see how people are getting on. But there's no pressure to talk, but it's just a space to connect. And also, it's so magical sometimes when we're on the co-working group, when people share ideas. If somebody's stuck on a particular thing, somebody might have knowledge about that. And it is just amazing how information from one person to the other is shared. And so you get so much out of that. And it's also calm, connected with that community support. So some examples here of what we would do maybe in co-working. Maybe it's just starting a project. It might be even writing a to-do list and to help prioritise on that list what needs to be done first. It could even be resting. So a lot of neurodivergent people find it hard to rest. And so co-working groups, even though it's called working, sometimes we need to work to learn how to rest. So that could be, rest can look very different from one person to the other. So it could be the reading, doing a bit of yoga, maybe even going for a walk or doing a bit of gardening. Cleaning is another one that sometimes when we feel that we're in inertia and we just cannot start that particular task, or putting on some washing and things like that, we can support each other. Sorting out that doom box. So that could be either like a drawer or a cupboard that you've been meaning to sort out for such a long period of time. And it's always on that to-do list. Oh, I must do that. We can encourage each other to start sorting that doom box. On one co-working group I did some time ago is that I wanted to sort out and clean my fridge. Yes. Always started it, but it took me a very long time. It took me longer than an hour and a half, put it that way. But again, once I was in that mode of doing the cleaning, it really helped. It could be even writing an email, washing, as I said, putting clothes away, applying for that job, looking for courses of interest, making that phone call, write a list of self-care, and maybe either taking a shower or a bath. We obviously need the camera off at that point. But even sometimes we can find it hard for that transition to just go and get in the shower, especially if we're in burnout. So we can encourage that we know that there are people there to support us in doing anything that we choose to do. So I wanted to share here some of the experiences that have been shared by the Neurokin community about the co-working group. So some people have said, I love the connection with other neurodivergent people. The Neurokin community is a proper community. As a late diagnosed autistic individual, Neurodiverse Adventures co-working sessions have proved invaluable and helped me do those daunting big and small tasks that I otherwise keep putting off. And that's from Mark in St Albans. I enjoy a small group where I can jump in more easily rather than a larger group. And that's from Joe from our Neuroking community as well. So have you ever tried co-working? If you haven't, we can go in gently. So sometimes just turning on the computer and connecting with a co-working space can be done in short virtual sessions. So even if the session is for a long period of time, you could say, right, I'm only going to attend for 10 minutes, say, just to see what it's about. If you're doing co-working in person, so this is about visiting local spaces at quiet times as well. So libraries, for example. Use noise cancelling headphones. That's if you're obviously in person as well. And even use STEM tools. That's online and in person. Notice what works. So what's the lighting like? What's the space like? What's the timing like for you? Because some co-working spaces that are offered can be like 8 in the morning. So if your brain works better at 8 in the morning, maybe join with a community that's that time. There could be during the day or even evening. Be kind to yourself. It's about exploring co-working spaces. So remember, co-working equals shared experiences and independence. It empowers us with autonomy, rhythm and connection. And there is no right way to find your comfort zone. So it's about, just venturing into these things quietly and, gently and just seeing what it's all about. So features of an in-person neurodivergent friendly co-working environment at work. I wanted to add this in because if you are an employee, it's really important that we are inclusive and equity is really important. Everyone is different, but it's important to ensure that the environment for everyone, not just neurodivergent or autistic people, lots of people can benefit from this. So have quiet zones and sensory sensitive lighting. Have STEM tools about. Normalise this. Everyone STEMs. And flexible seating. Clear signage and optional socialising. Have noise cancelling gear and fidget tools. Body doubling or parallel workspaces as well is important. So I just wanted to add that in there. And there is always, as I put at the end of the slides, further learning and resources. So there's a couple of things here to look at if you want to look online. The co-working options, books, articles and websites. And you can see, hang on, is it that way? It's that way. Neurodiverseadventures.com. So if you would like to join us, even you can email me if you just want to try one co-working session just to see how you feel about joining us. You can contact me at amanda@neurodiverseadventures.com. Okay, well, I'll leave it there for today. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care.